actually a formal education in transplantation and donation science. So I got my undergraduate degree in biology, and then after that I went to the University of Toledo to get a master's degree in transplantation and donation science. So that led me to Life Bank because I discovered during school that it was something I was passionate about, to work with organ donors and work in an organ procurement organization setting. And this is where I came after school to get my foot in the door and get started with doing that. My favorite part of my job is that I get to walk away from every shift knowing and seeing the difference that we make in other people's lives. We get to leave at the end of the day knowing we directly impacted these 3 or 4 or 5 people's lives by giving them a second chance with a new organ. And we get to do it with a team of people behind us that all are there to help move our mission forward. The most challenging aspect of our job here is that sometimes things just don't pan out the way we want them to. There's something different every day. We may have a wrench thrown at us where we find out halfway through a case that a donor has a history of cancer and now they can't donate anymore. We may run into a scenario where an OR has traumas coming in and they can't make time for us and we have to get bumped, and there's a lot of moving pieces that have to all fit into place for us to be able to do our jobs and have the outcome that we want, and it's not gonna fit perfectly in place every single time. So for this job, we do work 24-hour call shifts. So we're on call from 7 a.m. until 7 a.m. the next morning with 48 hours off in between. So that means that we're working weekends and we're working holidays, and it's long days and night shifts and day shifts, and it can feel like it's a lot of work. But it's really important to make sure we're taking our time off and we're really treating it like it's our time off. And like for me personally, I really try to, when I'm not working, I'm not thinking about work, I'm not looking at what's going on at work, and just taking that time to myself to make sure that I'm maintaining a work-life balance. It's very important to be able to have set aside time to practice resiliency and self-care in a job like this one. We do approach situations every day where we're faced with grief and loss, and that can be hard to deal with over and over again. But being able to step away on our days off and enjoy our lives outside of work, and being able to know that in the long run what we're doing is truly going to help that family heal from what they're going through in the moment. There's a wide variety in what a typical day might look like in this job. We're on call for 24-hour shifts, and during that time we may spend all 24 hours on site at a hospital on one case. We may start the day on one case, think we're going home, and end up at another case. We may spend the whole day at home just taking calls and updates about patients that we're following. There's no typical day in a job like this one. My advice to anyone looking to enter this field is just to ask all the questions that you can and really find out as much as you can about what we do ahead of time. It's a job that not a lot of people know anything about, and so really fully understanding what it is that you're going to be doing and what the day-to-day tasks really can look like is something that I think is important when you're making a decision of whether or not this is something that you want to do. I do have a personal connection to organ donation and transplant. I actually have a cousin who became an organ donor a little over 2 years ago now. He suffered from drug addiction for most of his life, and ultimately he ended up dying of a drug overdose when he was in his late 20s. And he became an organ donor, and that was the first time that it really clicked for me that organ donation isn't just a big deal for the recipient and the person who's getting another chance at life through that gift of a new organ, but it's a big deal and can offer a lot of healing for the family who's losing a loved one. I choose to stay at Life Bank because we are almost like a family, as cliche as that sounds. We are a group of people that truly embody our mission, and we're just filled with coworkers that want to step up and help each other, want to move the donation process forward, and we want to make sure that things are moving as slowly and as easily for our coworkers as possible. We really have a group of people that are always willing to step up and help each other, and I think that's something that's very unique to Life Bank.